What's good, YouTube? We back for another video. So today's video is gonna be based upon what is the best first car for the price and for the horsepower that they offer. We're going to be doing a top 5 of what could be the best first car for the money and the horsepower that it offers. So we're gonna start off with number 1 being the Dodge Charger SRT8. You can find those anywhere from 10 grand to upwards of 16, 17 grand, depending on the mileage. Usually maybe 100,000 miles, going about 16, 17,000 from what I've seen out here in Florida. In California, maybe a little more, but it just all depends. Those cars are 425 horsepower, 6.1 liter V8. They got a forged crank, so they're good for boost to a certain extent, of course. And they're fast for the money. I mean, for that price, you get 425 horsepower, and basically these 0 to 60 in under like 4.5 seconds or something like that. It's pretty crazy. I had a built cammed RT. Of course, I was beating SRT8s, but they were stock. So, but it wasn't by much, so it kind of shows. So it definitely would be an SRT8 at my number 1 on the list for the price. And number 2, for a first car, this car is really cheap, but yet has so much potential. Number 2 is going to be the Dodge Neon SRT4. Now, it is a manual car. Again, not everybody these days knows how to drive a manual, but if you don't, learn, because that car is probably one of the funnest cars to drive out there. From what I've heard, what I've seen those cars making 600, 700 horsepower, built motor for like maybe $3,000-$4,000. If you blow the motor, you can get a new one for $1,000. Of course, if it ain't built, they're pretty much easy to swap out for the most part if you're mechanically inclined. Even then, if you take it to a shop, ain't gonna be that much. But the parts on those cars, aftermarket turbos, are pretty budget friendly for somebody who has a job. You know what I mean? It's not like crazy expensive like if you're modding a Supra or something like that. It's SRT4, it's a 4-door car. Take it around your friends. If it's your first car, you probably got out of high school or maybe in college. You can take it around your friends, bang gears and all that stuff, man. And those cars look great. You can make them not only fast, but maybe a show car or whatever. And I would definitely say SRT4 is probably one of the best options to get. You can find those cars for anywhere around, I've seen out here, like $5,000 all the way up to 10 grand. But if they're about 10K, they're probably got some stuff done, where it's a built motor or pushing 500-600 to the wheels or something like that. So it just all depends. The SRT4 though lands on my number 2. I would like to get one personally, because I used to have an SI. I know how to drive stick, and if that car was fun, I can only imagine a 400, 500 wheel SRT4 weighing like 2,900 pounds. Like, these things are crazy. Freaking just a monstrosity of a car, for the price. Like, it's almost unbelievable, right? So that would be my number 2. And number 3 is a Lexus IS 350, the 2IS, which is like 06 to 2011 or something like that, 2012. Those are great show cars. They can be good for NA, fast cars, I guess, being like 306 horsepower, and you can find them anywhere for like 8,000 all the way up to like 12 or 13, just depending on the mileage, of course. They're great cars because they're family luxury sedans that got some power to them. They look great. You can make those things in the straight, just show stance cars. I also thought about getting one at one point to be a family car of mine, but, I just never really came around to it, I guess. But they are great cars that I would tell someone, hey, this would be a great first car. It's got Toyota reliability. It's got good power. I don't know if they're all-wheel drive, but definitely they do. If you got a rear-wheel drive, you can swing them things. They look nice. Interiors, push start. Technology is great for the year. Heated, cooled seats, navigation. You can get Bluetooth for it with those little adapter things. Other than that, it's a great car. If you want to add Apple CarPlay and things like that, you you can buy a little module for them and you're set. You know, they're a great car for the money, and that would be definitely my number 3. And at number 4 is going to be a Gen 1 Coyote, which I think is 2011 to 2014, I think, for a Gen 1. Of course, you'll find like 2011, 2012 for cheaper, from like maybe 15,000 upwards of 18. And this is for like the higher mileage, like above 100,000 miles. But regardless, man, if you got the money, that would be a great first car. Of course, don't be that guy being stupid, trying to show off, doing burnouts, swinging your Mustang, because I'm telling you, you're going to crash. That's why we have built a name for ourselves as the crowd killers. I don't do that even in my car. You know, it's FBOE, making over 500 wheel. It's just not a car you want to swing unless you got handles, you know, like my boy, hello, I'm Jensen. You know, if you got handles like that guy, then go ahead. But if not, man, don't try that. As someone who just started driving, it's not going to work in your favor. Best thing to do, learn the car, learn how to drift if that's what you want to do. Build your suspension for that, things like that. They're great cars, NA, boost, whatever. Great cars. Not as fast as a 10-speed, of course. But you can make them up there for sure if you get the manual or whatever. You can make them fast, okay? Don't think you're going to never be as fast as a 10-speed. That is not the case, man. You can make those things pretty wickedly fast. So that is a great, you know, first car if you can. And that would always be my number 4 on the list, being a Gen 1 Coyote, man. Those things are sick, and they look great. They're fast. You know, if you're single with no kids, man, that's the car for you, you know. Not only that, man, you got them things NA, make upwards of 480, 490 to the wheels, maybe even 500 if you're in like a CJ or a Holly. Those things are just awesome for the money. Power you can make, they're lighter. They're like maybe 3,500 pounds or something like that. So it's a great car nonetheless. So that would be my number 4. And for number 5 is going to be a 3-valve Mustang. And those, I think, are like 2004 or 5 all the way up to 2010. They are 300 horsepower, 4.6, you know, 3 valves. They are good for making power, you know, somewhat for what they are, I guess. They are great first cars, though, because they're not too powerful, but they're still fun to drive. You get the manual version, you can still make them look great. You could even make them look like the more futuristic Mustangs, like the 14 and up ones, I guess. And they're just an overall great car. They don't have many reliability issues from what I know of anyways. I know a lot of people who have boosted them, twin turbo, supercharged, pro charger, whatever, making great power. That you can find those cars in 10 grand or even less than that if you look on Marketplace. And they're good for the value, at least. I have heard a lot of people of even Coyote swapping those. If that's what you want to do, go ahead. But they are a great first car nonetheless, just because the car is built pretty great. You know, it handles good for what it is. Again, the power isn't too crazy, so you're not going to get, you know, rowdy in there like you would if you got like a 5.0 or something. You'd be completely fishtailing all the time. So if you get one of those, make sure you get some good traction as well, just like you would with a 5.0. Just go ham at it and have fun. You guys seen Drew Peacock's build of his 3-valve that he turned into a 5.0 and boosted it. So, you know, whatever you guys want to do. But that right there is my number 5 on the list for the top 5 best first cars to get that are affordable, that are not going to hinder you on reliability issues. The gas mileage on them may not be the best, but hey, they're fun cars nonetheless. If you live out here in Florida, gas isn't really an issue. If you live in California, like I used to, man, yeah, gas is crazy. Go get a Honda or something, or even SRT4. But those are the best cars to get, you know, hands down my top 5 list. Let me know down in the comments your guys' top 5 list of best first cars that you guys think. Or if you agree with my top 5 list, just let me know. I interact in the comments and stuff like that. And another update in 2 weeks, the Holly hopefully should be getting here. I haven't got no updates from Juggernaut Performance, which is where I bought it from, but we're waiting. It's been since what, October already, man. It's been crazy. So man, once this Holly gets in, taking it straight to get ported, and we're gonna get it on the car and break some hearts and hit the dyno and see how much power to make. But that is all for the future, or near future, should I say. And so yeah, that is it for today's quick little video. Just want to keep putting out videos for you guys, putting knowledge in your heads for those who are looking for a good first car. That's a great top 5 list, of course. So yeah, till next time, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and we out. Peace.